Brethren, the prophet calls, standing atop a dais of ancient, monolithic stone, brought forth from the newly founded megalith city of Xuluzk, specifically for the purpose of his address.
The will of Zas manifests in the form of a blade that shall sever the twisted, hungering current of Hirkanix the Binder before his ungodly draconian ambitions can be made manifest.
Hundreds of warriors watched him from around the dais, standing in groups and battle formations amidst the gnarled trees and reeds. Some were partially submerged in the marshy waters, while others stood atop rocky outcroppings or on fallen logs. All watched with rapt attention and unblinking eyes, heeding every word of their guide.
We face our first great trial upon the current before us, the prophet continues,
gesturing out towards his flock.
For each and every one of us becomes a part of this great blade, a part of Zas's will made manifest, and each and every one of us must be prepared to sacrifice all to ensure the flow of causality is not tampered with or bent. The great worm, Hirkanix, seeks to attain godhood. Believe not the lies told by his feline thralls, for they have been ensnared by the delusion he casts through the astral sea. He is no benevolent king. He is no exception to Dragonkind's malignance. He is merely a more insidious expression of it, hiding his avarice and lust for power behind the veneer mask of benevolence.
There were no rallying cries or jubilant shouts amidst the warriors present. The Xaask expressed no such excitement to inspiring speeches as the warm-blooded armies of yore did. They simply watched and listened in silence, their reptilian, expressionless faces revealing nothing of what each warrior might feel within.
We march for the territories of Hirkanix, and we march to liberate the feline Jadur Shadal from Hirkanix's tyranny,
the prophet called out again, raising his arms.
Know that the thrust of every spear, the descent of every axe, and the impact of every arrow has already been orchestrated and foretold upon the tapestry of Zas. Know that each of your currents is already woven into its grand design. Should your current meet the kairotic moment of its severance, that your purpose will have been fulfilled. So ready yourselves, O children of Zas, for we march as justiciars of destiny and guardians of providence.
With that, he turned, settling his reptilian gaze upon the path ahead, and signaled the army to march. In silence, with neither ceremony nor jubilation, the Xaask host followed, knowing with absolute certainty that their ordained path was clear. With the final distress call of the interdiction force we sent out to combat Hirkanix's marauders, it became very clear enough that the necromancer army that had moved into our territory was under the employ of Hirkanix, thus further proving his deceit. We can see here right now that these two armies are standing next to each other, not fighting each other. Instead, the necromancer army and their followers, which are of course here made up of, Jad or Shadal. How did that happen? Very interesting. They have destroyed our interdiction force. But thankfully some of our scouts got back and delivered the message that you guys just heard, and that triggered the formal declaration of war by the prophet against Hirkanix. Unfortunately, this means Siaraisk is undefended, meaning resources must be expended in order to ensure that Siaraisk can be defended, and quickly. So, that is what we will be doing immediately. As quickly as possible. These marauders here, unfortunately, there's not much we can do about them right now. Hirkanix's forces are pushing against us, and all we can really do is begin this conflict. Enemy forces are stronger. We'll be facing an uphill battle. That is to be expected. However, our empire is stronger, We are now at war with Hirconix the Binder. Thus, it begins. So we advance. We will advance into enemy territory. This will take 2 turns to pillage here. We will need to be destroying enemy improvements as we go. Particularly the ones that grant some sort of immediate benefit. So, our forces will move into the territory of Manafont right here directly in a single concerted push. Now, as for our scouts up here near Skragheim, Ireth's territory, they will proceed around and just have a quick look. Perhaps it would be best if we were to form some sort of agreement with her. Perhaps forming a wizard's bond. It would cost us 225 gold. They will not go for that right now. So, that is very unfortunate. Thus, all we can do, we could attempt to drown the enemy armies in the mire that are approaching our territory. I think that would actually be a benefit to us. So, let's do that. Let's drown. Question is, which one? I think we'll drown this army here, just to deal a little bit of damage to it. This clearly mercenary force that was hired by them. Yaraisk must hold. Hopefully we will be able to bring our units in time. Hurry recruitment. It's very expensive for only 2 turns of additional haste. Perhaps it is best if we were to immediately construct a teleporter here, actually. So, let's see here. We have a farm here, farm there, farm there. There's plenty of farms. All of these territories are incredibly good. These are... I'm going to put it right there. It's going to take 3 turns. No, it's going to take 7 turns. Okay. That's not going to be ready in time, but we have to give it a try. So, we will see what happens if the enemy move against us to try and counter our forces. Supposedly there is an enemy force in Manafont, but they may be trying to defend the city. We shall see. As is expected, a joined effort with these mercenaries and Hirconix's forces. It's all but confirmed. Now, we have completed Cosmic Reprisal, which was the latest research that we went for. So now we need to search for a new form of research. The Tome of Astral Convergence. Becomes stronger the more spells you cast and summon astral creatures from the sea. Perhaps, but perhaps not. The Astral Mirror, of course. Well, this is very, very thematic. We can create astral reflections of our units and leader to reflect damage back to attackers. And of course, well, the cyclical nature of everything with our faction. The fact that the names are reflections of themselves. We are, of course, going to be picking Tome of the Astral Mirror and proceeding onwards from there. Now, as for the Astral Mimics, they are not directly servants of Zas, so we will be not recruiting them. But summoning astral reflections is absolutely something we would want to do. So, or astral revelation, that's also really good. So we're going to take astral revelation, which will grant our units and cities +7 vision, which is going to be really nice, because right now we're going in a little bit blind. So, we will leave 1 unit behind to pillage this territory. Oh, no, we can't actually. Okay, so Ukiyasha Iku will simply be pillaging that territory while the rest of our forces advance in the hopes of putting Manafont under siege. Excellent. We can start the siege now. We have 2 siege projects available to us. Otherwise, it's a 3 turns to do a breach. Not very much. We do harass defenders, which deal 20 physical damage to all of the defending units, or we can construct onagers. At this rate, onagers are actually going to be quite beneficial to us. However, it is very expensive, so I'm actually not going to do that. We're going to do harass defenders and undermine the walls, and perhaps break battlements. Damages the battlement structure in this city. Are there battlements? Archer battlements, yeah. We'll break the battlements. And the rest of our forces are going to pull in to support. And the city should be ready to fall soon enough. All of our forces are there. Cosmic Reprisal is ready to go, as I mentioned. And the rest of our troops here, otherwise it's just going to be a nasty situation here. Can we negotiate, or at least pull him into this war? That would be great. Pronouncements. No? Call Torbeld to war against Hirconix. Torbeld Chainbreaker will respond to your call in 3 turns. He will receive 52 War justification. If he accepts and joins you in your war against Draconic the Binder, however, you will gain 10 on Torbeld if he declines your call. I'm gonna call him to war. Hopefully he will, he cannot join my war. Okay, well, we stand alone. Unfortunately, there is still division amongst the free people. This is very unfortunate, but we're going to have to look past this. We're not going to be spiteful towards him. It is his decision, of course. It is an unfortunate decision. One that does not benefit the world in the end. But there's nothing we can do about it. So, our troops... Let's see, Zasada says is not under threat. We don't need to recruit anything here. What we do need... Oh, also, we have appeased the Autumn Fairies. So, we now have an Autumn Fairy supporter. So what I'm going to do is... It's going to take too much time until the teleporter is ready there. So 4 turns is going to be drastically quicker. We're going to send this Autumn Fairy, which is a capable unit, along with some more warriors down, to go and reinforce Xiaraisk. It is unfortunate that those necromantic marauders took out our interdiction force, otherwise we would not be being raided right now. But, so it is. Torbeld Chainbreaker has built a root of Materium. Well, good for him. Very well. Our scouts here are in Iret's territory, or close to Iret's territory. We'll skirt around it and not agitate her. Even during wartime, our people pulled together. Construction has been completed in Xuluzk. Now, as for Xuluzk itself, we are going to construct a battle ritual site to gain additional draft. Whoops, didn't need that. We'll construct an ancestral seer hall afterwards, but right now, it is important that we have defenders in Xuluzk, so we will construct a... I guess we'll construct 2 units of warriors. That's fine. I double-click that. That's okay. That's what it's going to be. Because that there is a problem. That is a major problem. So, we're going to send Ukiakshiiku to defend. That, I'm hoping, will be enough. We'll see. We have our forces here. We're not going to be able to condense everything into one particular force. So, it's going to take 3 turns to get there. Xuluzk should hold out for 3 turns. Xiaraisk can annex another province. Fantastic. Unfortunately, all of these provinces are currently being burned, which is very problematic. But we're going to take this here, which is going to give us this, or basically going to allow us to hold on to this watchtower. Now the enemy raiders are also participating in burning our territory, so this is a very unfortunate situation. We're going to spend the 8 gold to immediately get started on the War Shamans recruitment there. Xiaraisk has produced a Wild Witch. You're going to act as the defense in the city, while the rest of our troops slowly move south to defend the city. It's going to be a difficult situation, to be sure. We're attacked... Well, we are attacking on one front and being attacked on 2 fronts. It would appear here Conix's forces, instead of moving directly towards our city, are pillaging our surrounding provincial improvements. This is good for us. It's going to give us a little bit of extra time. And I think it should actually be enough time. Irzasri has produced a Shrine of the War God. Fantastic. So now we can begin to recruit troops there, and we shall have our teleporters up and running very shortly. I will produce a blacksmith here so that we can make rapid, or recruit many units rapidly. Given the state of the war that we are in, we will start recruiting berserkers. Ferocious Sask Exodites that have suffered much under the rule of Dragonkind and are very, very eager to bring the fight to the enemy. 1 turn until a breach. We will be able to take one of their cities before they can respond. And before they will be able to threaten ours. Xuluzk can annex another province. Fantastic. There's no sense in annexing anything out here, unless we specifically want to do it to draw them away. That might actually be beneficial, but... For now, I think I will not do that, and rather annex this gold mine here. That's what we're going to do. Oh, unfortunately, this is occupied. Okay, didn't see that. Well, it is what it is. So, we're going to have our scouts search around up here, look for treasures of some kind. We have a couple of options here. We can do a Drown in the Mire. I think that's going to be quite good, because there are several enemy armies that I would very much like to drown in the mire. the city that is in the most immediate threat... Actually, it's really not in the most immediate threat, because they're not going to be able to take it before those arrive. So, I'd rather preemptively damage some of the armies here. So we're going to drop Drown in the Mire on them. It's just going to be a teeny bit of damage, but hey, look, that actually did something worthwhile. So, that's good. We've received a trade proposal. You propose an alliance. Absolutely, that is the deal. Now... who are you at war with? You're at war with Avnazarax. Can we call him to war against the Arconics? We can't do it again. Very well. Unfortunate. Okay, our troops are here, ready to defend and hold out. Other rulers have started a war. Is that so? Yeah, Avnazarax and Torbeld, indeed. Now he wants an alliance. Alright. My rivalry with Hirani is no secret. Join me and we will prevail over her together. No, I will not. We must band together with her instead. I duly hope that you call off your rivalry with Hirani. We are not enemies. Dragonkind is the enemy. I know dwarves and elves have a long-standing feud, but they must learn to overcome it in the face of, I was going to say in the face of the scaled enemy, but we're also scaled, so that's, you know, in the face of dragons, specifically. Alright, so after this, we should be ready to make our actual invasion of Monafont. Oh no, he's here. This has now gone from a simple battle to a very difficult battle. In fact, one that we might not be able to win. Our only chance here is that we can defeat this army handily enough, which might happen, might not. We're going to very heavily rely on our mana superiority right now and hope that we do actually have mana superiority, because if we can clip this army down to size, we can functionally basically destroy this far superior force piecemeal, one bit at a time. I'm hoping it's going to be enough. We're going to have to use all of the strategy we have available to us in order to get this to work. We only have 95 mana points. Oh boy, and Hirconix himself is here. Now, Xiaraisk is... Oh, sorry, Xiaraisk is, of course, going to want to get in on that. We're going to deploy our Lightbringers up to the front. And she's going to deploy onto this flank. We are going to utilize a strategy that is quite effective, which will be an oblique battle order, meaning we're going to ignore this flank entirely and move all of our forces down here so that we can engage one enemy flank at once. Overwhelm it with as many of our forces as we possibly can, while the rest of our forces basically redeploy. It's unfortunate that the Prophet is all the way up here. Now, I used this strategy quite extensively in my previous campaign with the Spider Cult. Spider Cult was a bit more well-suited to use this strategy because it made extensive use of fodder units. Oops, did not need to step it in there, but that's only a distraction. That's okay. It's not the worst. Yeah, I'm hoping this is going to be enough. This is actually definitely one of the harder-hitting contingents of this force, though there are two heroes up there, so we're going to enter defensive mode and hope for the best. We don't have summons, so we're going to have to rely on our magic here. So we have Star Blades descending. We'll see how this goes. It's very unfortunate that these forces arrived just on the turn that we could take the city. It's very well timed for the enemies. I'm hoping we will have enough to vanquish this army. Xiaraisk could charge right now, but that would be a death sentence. As much as I would like her to, that will absolutely not end well for her. What we could do instead is move our Lightbringer up into position. It's going to deal just a little bit of damage right there. It's basically going to do almost nothing. Now, our spiders here can pull up. We want to turn them around so that they're actually facing the enemy. Izika Ikizi, he could already start to pick off some enemies. The problem is that's going to leave him open to the vast amount of ranged firepower that the enemy has. So we're not going to be doing that. What spells do we have available? We have Cosmic Reprisal. Target friendly unit and 2 other adjacent units get aligned. We need to start aligning our units to be sure. So we'll get ready to do that right here. Astrologers can move this way. Astrologers can also do an alignment. Target friendly unit gets aligned. We're going to... we can't align her, unfortunately. We will align Izika Ikizi. Wild Witches can stay right up here. The Prophet. I'm not so concerned about the Prophet taking a lot of missile fire. He can handle it. And we need to get him close. Somehow. We can pull here and then use Triumph Foretold on all of these troops. Right there. Okay, we can only cast it on a unit, not on something that's standing in the middle. That is very unfortunate, but we'll do it right here then. Okay, so all of them are now aligned. The Wild Witches are going to hold position. The rest of our troops are going to... Whoops. Did not need you to move into the Fiery Wake. Unfortunately, this Fiery Wake is not benefiting us. Okay, they're distracted, but it's only for 1 turn, so it's not a huge deal. Okay. Now, as for what we can do to the enemy... We could inflict Rot to inflict poison and decay on several of the enemy units. Right here would be the best bet, because there's quite a lot of them. So we're going to drop poison and decay here, which will hopefully deal a fair bit of damage onto those enemies by the time they reach us. Can Izika Ikizi shoot anything? No, not at this point. Then, we're just going to have to hold position. We'll see what the enemy does. This unit only has 1 turn before it dies. I wish the units... summoned at the start of a battle did not have this timer, or at least had a longer timer. I understand with the ones summoned later in battle, but I really think that 3 turns is not enough for such a big battlefield unless you charge headlong into the enemy, which isn't great to do. Okay, one of them is here. That's an enemy hero that has exposed himself, so we can kill him. Okay, they're attacking here, that's fine. We'll see. If these Lightbringers can live, that would be great. I don't think they will, though. Alright. They were going to die at the end of next turn anyways, so... It's not a huge loss, but I did want to try and convert something, but at the very least we baited out the enemy. So there are a couple of enemy units that are now very exposed that we can engage. So... Iriaz could potentially engage Draconics directly. Draconics used Condemnation. Interesting. Alright. Now, as for what we can do, how many of the enemy are currently clustered together? Because not many of them are, which is a little bit problematic. Our troops are fairly clustered together. Right here. So we could do a Vision of Victory, which is going to grant our troops Fortune, which is going to give them critical strike chance. Okay, we can do immense damage to some of these. We can straight up kill some of these units, almost. But moving her in, she's a bit fragile. So I would like to actually be able to hit some of these enemies somewhere else first. Okay, I have an idea. We're going to move our Sunderers in, because we do need to take Draconics out. We can throw Javelins there. 65% chance of hitting. Excellent. That inflict decaying and reduced his defenses. So now, we should be able to deal more damage to him. It's still not going to be enough. Okay, we have to get our warriors in. This is going to trigger a retaliation attack, one way or another. So we're going to advance in here, and then we can do a shield bash, which is going to put us into a defensive stance. Actually dealt quite a lot of damage to us. But now, at least we are defended. We're going to wait for what she's going to do until a bit later. Now, we're not going to deal much of any damage there, so I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to attempt a shield bash to stun them, but at least they're not going to be able to fight us, and we are going to be in a defensive position. Now, as for this hero, we could engage there. That is an archer hero that is wildly out of position that our shield maidens can currently move against. However, let's look here and see what the Prophet can do. The Prophet has multiple options available. I'm not sure I'm going to immediately take this. Man, what is up with this? We can't target anyone with him. That is a problem. He needs to be able to spot enemy targets much better. What about our spear bearers? Our spear bearers can only really charge in and deal a bit of damage there, so we're going to get them to do that, because we got to engage. It's just the truth of it. Now, if we can pin down some of these ranged units, that would be excellent. So I'm going to have our spiders do that. I'm going to pin them down. It's going to deal a tiny bit of damage. It's not much, but it's something. You can also pin down this unit. That is a tier 1 unit, though. That's just an Arcanist. I'm not as concerned about that unit. Whereas I am more concerned about this character here. So we're going to move right up here and attempt a stun. 48% chance only. It worked. Perfect. Okay, so they're not going anywhere. Our astrologers really can't hit anything. Kind of bad, so we're going to move him right here and just get a teeny little magic blast in right there. Now, Zika Ikizi needs to get some business down. But unfortunately, it looks like a lot of these enemy units are really hard to hit. Though, from here, we can dish out quite a bit of damage right there. So we're going to do that. We're going to pick off one of these units. That's a tier 2 unit that we're then going to bog down and kill some models on. And we have our Wild Witch here. Unfortunately, not in the best position and has already taken a bit of damage. So, our warriors here, before we move the Wild Witch, our warriors are going to advance in here and actually attack him. Which missed. Not sure how that's missing, but apparently it is. Lightning Evocation. I can deal a bit of damage to 4 enemy units, but I think we're going to be better off actually using a couple of abilities here. So I think what I want to do is... Ooh, I need to move. So I'm going to move the Prophet. Either way, he's going to be moving through this stuff. So I'm going to move the Wild Witch out of the way first. I'm going to move her over here. And then we're going to move him up here. So this way he can first use this ability on the Shield Maidens, or perhaps the Spiders. Let's use it on the Shield Maidens. We want to get some damage in. So the Shield Maidens can do a bit of work. It's going to be some good damage. We got to kill one of these heroes. These heroes are going to be a big problem. That was unfortunately a whole lot of grazes. So, anything that we can Mending Touch, we can definitely Mending Touch the Wild Witches right here, which is going to be great. Then we have one action left. One action that we could attempt to shoot something with a magic missile. Good. This has a 100% chance of hitting. Is there anything particular that we need to get rid of? We could do quite a bit of damage to this ranged unit. So they're not stunned. So they're going to be able to damage us. So this is almost certainly going to kill a model. That's going to reduce their effectiveness. As for what we can do here, we can do a Blight Rain. If we move the witches up here, we can drop a Blight Rain right there. Perfect. So that's going to inflict Sunder defense. We should have done that first, but it is what it is. Our chaplains are going to advance right here. And I think... best bet, bless this unit right here. Okay. I probably should have blessed Xayiriazg, to be fair. Okay, we've got some Furies. Furies are going to be a good missile support unit. Problem is a lot of their units are currently obscured. So she can engage Hirconix. Could be quite good, or she can engage something else. We can basically kill this archer unit. That's a tier 2 archer unit that will be dead. Unfortunately, she'll be wildly exposed from Hirconix. I don't know what kind of damage he can do. Let's quickly have a look at his capabilities. That is a fair amount of damage. He's also got a Dragon Breath ability. Thing is, if she's in combat with him, he's less likely to use his Dragon Breath on any of my clustered units. So if I move here, he's going to respond. But, at the same time, she'll be flanked. But if I attack him, she'll be flanked by the archers. This will do 30% extra melee damage, which means I could kill that unit if I use that, but I don't know if that's worth it. So I'm going to charge these archers. Kill that unit. Okay, War Shamans. Going to advance here. And we can deal some damage. I don't know if this was actually a very good idea to advance as far as they did, but that was a miss, even with the 60%. That is very unfortunate. We're going to pull in right here. give a shield wall to those war shamans. We have another unit of war shamans right here that is going to, unfortunately, not be able to participate because they're too far back. And we have some chaplains here that can at least give some blessings. So I'm going to give a blessing to Ezekiel Ikizi, so that he will be more effective in the next turn. Okay. Ending our turn. This is going to be painful. I have that feeling. Oh, man. Okay, so that was Cosmic Reprisal, or Cosmic Ablation is a different ability. And, okay, there's healing coming down as well. This is now an issue. What's happening here? Okay, Hirconix did a healing spell rather than actually an offensive spell, so that's good for us. Our spiders have died. That's not the worst course of action. Warriors are taking some damage, but they are at least defended. So, I'm not suffering the most efficient damage ever, but it's still a lot of damage, even from low-tier units. That is unfortunate. Yeah, so they're able to focus down some of our units, which is bad. Okay, they're also into our cookie jar, because they're pretty quick. Shield Maidens are still taking a lot of damage, even though they're a fairly defensive unit. War Shaman's taking damage as well. And the rest of the enemy forces is closing in. Unfortunately, we didn't really have the position to formulate a proper oblique battle order. Of course, we don't have the numbers. Alright, what can you do? We can basically have her start picking off some of these ranged units in the back line, so we can straight up kill this unit back here. She's in a pretty good position. She hasn't been hit yet. Hirconix is there, and we definitely need to get rid of him eventually, but there's other things we can also do. Man, the Sunderer is not being able to hit anything. It seems like we're capped at a 60% chance to hit, which is a bit of a problem. Let's actually do our buffs first this time. And do as many of the other potentially good abilities that we can. So we can do a Mending Touch with our Astrologers right here on the Shield Maidens. It's going to be good. We have our Chaplains here that can do a Healing Prayer also on the Shield Maidens. Basically bring them back to full health. Could be useful. Right? Or is there anything that needs it more? I think they're the ones that need it the most. So, we're going to fully heal them. Okay, Ikizi is in a pretty good position. What I want to do here is have the Prophet use the Visions of Woe here, because we have 3 enemy forces right there. We have 3 right there as well that we could hit. Is there anywhere where we can hit more than 3? I don't think so. So we want to be able to drop some of these enemy troops and prevent them from doing too much damage to us. So I think it's going to be these 3, because they're all at quite a bit of health, and I'm not going to be able to engage them. So I'm going to use the Visions of Woe. So they're going to be fumbling their attacks. The Wild Witch here can't do much. That's a good chance of doing a lot of damage to him, but the problem is it is a 55% chance of hitting. Is there anything we can do to increase this? How much is Cosmic Reprisal? Okay, that doesn't do damage. That's going to grant Aligned and Prediction Reprisal, which 5 random units without Aligned sustain 5 Lightning, 5 Fire, and 5 Frost. That would be good, but I think Inflict Rot or Diffuse Health going to be even better. If we can cluster some of our units around one enemy, like this one, for example, that could be quite good. But I don't think that's going to quite work. Okay, looking here, we have our Fury that can do some damage. Okay, we are in a position to actually inflict some pain here, at the very least. We need to move our War Shamans out. They're trapped in combat. I'm going to move them back here. They're going to take the opportunity attack. Is unfortunately just how it is. And they can actually do a Mending Touch on themselves then. A little bit of a heal there. Our Chaplains here. Let's see here. We have our War Shamans right here, which are not actually directly engaged to anything. So they could drop a big fat in power. That sounds really good. Okay, so that's going to hit 4 enemy units. Or 4 of our units, I should say. Not enemy units. We can have our warriors engage these spearmen. They should die pretty quickly. from that. Very good. And our chaplain here could then finish them off. 60% chance of success. We got to get rid of something. Going to start trigger enemy morale losses, or at least balance out the morale losses that we are suffering. 35% chance to do some damage against that hero. Do it. Nice, that actually hit. And inflicted decay. Very good. And Azika Ikizi, only 55% chance of actually hurting that one. So I'm going to shoot this melee unit here, just to get some damage in. Wow, that straight up murdered them with critical hits. Thank you, Fortune. Good stuff. Alright, so our shield maidens can then beat on this hero who is trapped in combat. Very good. These flanking attacks have done a ton of damage, which means our astrologers might be able to kill him. Let's see if it works. Nice. Enemy hero down. First of the Jador Shadel collaborators, that's what the heroes are, have been felled, so that's very good for us. Now, our spear bearers here could initiate this attack against that enemy unit, which will then allow our warriors to move around and tie up one of these ranged units, because the ranged units are the main threat right now. Let's actually have the archers shoot them first, get a lot of damage in. Nice, triple critical hit. They are almost dead, which means our spear bearers can actually finish them off, which is great. So that's another enemy unit that's dead, which will then allow our warriors to move in and engage some of these ranged units. Question is, which one do I want to pick off? These ones are all going to fumble their attacks, so they're not a super big priority. So I'm going to attack these ones right here. Perfect. Good damage. These warriors can engage against these spear bearers. Question is, how do I want to proceed with that? We have our Sunderers right here. I'm going to move our Sunderers up a little. I can't get them to have a better chance at actually hitting. We have an 80% chance to deal some damage there, so I'm going to take that. Bolstered defenses have been removed. So then it just comes down to, what do I want to do? Like, is there a place to do a diffuse health? Not really. Not worth it, anyways. We could drop an inflict rot on these 3 units, but it's only going to hit 3 units. So I'm not sure that's worth it either, whereas we do have a lot of clustered units together. Dropping a cosmic reprisal or an omen of respite, which will trigger a healing effect, might be useful. Or we can attempt a salvation. That's going to be almost all of our available mana, though, so that's a little bit iffy. But if we're going to do a cosmic reprisal, I think I'd rather do another Visions of Victory, just to continue stacking the... that would hit 4, this would hit 5. Get more Fortune. Because, like, Fortune, those critical hits absolutely did a number on them, so... I think that's pretty good to do it that way. So, Sairiazk the Ruthless, we could kill this unit of Arcanists. Not too much threat from them, because they're all going to be fumbling their attacks. So I'm going to do that. Sairiazk is just going to go over there and murder this unit. Okay, they're dead. Instant kill, and she can move again and kill that unit, or kill that unit. Alright. I see how this is. This is good. I know they're going to be fumbling. Okay, but if I move that way, it's going to put her in a little bit of danger. So I'm going to move her over here, and then she's just going to kill that. Okay, so that's another enemy unit that's down. Our warriors here can engage right here. We're just going to have to do it this way. We'll fight these spearmen. The Wild Witch. Wild Witch can do some attacks here. The chance of actually hitting is low, so we're going to move up a little. It's going to sacrifice some of our damage, but we'll be able to get more damage in. Very good. Another one down. Izika Ikizi. You can kill an enemy unit straight off the bat. We can move you into cover somewhere. It's only 2 movement, which means you'll still be able to do 2 attacks. Get some really good damage in there, or we can theoretically kill this unit. Do it. Get rid of them. Okay, no, it didn't quite work. And unfortunately survived. And that's it for this turn. Pretty effective. We did kill quite a few enemies. Let's see what the enemy is now going to do to us. So it's, of course, here Conics that I'm most concerned about. I'm hoping that Idayask is going to survive. Okay, some of the enemy units are retreating. The looks of it. Okay, they just removed the Vision of Woe. And they just dropped a big burning hit on us. And that's a Frost Breath, which dealt a fair bit of damage, thankfully only to our Tier 1 warriors. So Iriask took it pretty okay. We lost those warriors, which is unfortunate. But what's important is that our heroes are still doing pretty well. What is not good is that those units that we use Visions of Woe on are no longer suffering from Visions of Woe. So We may be losing the Shield Maiden. Be bad, to say the least. It's a tier 3 unit that I'd rather not be losing right now. And Zika Ikizi will be stuck in close here. Okay, you're attacking her. That's fine. She's gonna be able to take that. Okay, attacking my Wild Witches. Thankfully... Okay, they are still fumbling. Some of them are, at least. So, I'm not really sure what happened then. I guess it didn't remove Vision of Woe? Or maybe Vision of Woe removed, but the fumble is still active. That must be it. Because the Vision of Woe triggers the fumbling. It means it automatically removes itself at the start of the turn to inflict the fumble, I guess. That's how I'm choosing to see it at the moment. Okay, so we need to have a unit bolstered with Prediction of the Future, so that we can get some critical hits in here. So I think that's going to be... I misclicked. Didn't mean it to be them. Alright, well. Okay, Khoridu, anybody that needs to die. That is a tier 2 Soother unit. We have these archers here, the Arcane Rangers. They can die. These can also die. We should also be getting some damage in on Hirconix here at some point. We got some warriors that can engage these rangers to deal some damage. Why don't you guys do that? Get some good old damage in. Okay, so they're now stuck in melee. Khoridu can come all the way back here and basically totally cripple this enemy unit group. There's 4 of them right there. So he can't... Oh, that's an enemy hero. Orion the Traveler. Yeah, we're gonna have to deal with him. We can kill him with our Wild Witches, potentially. Let's do it. Alright, so he's down. I thought he was already dead. I guess they resurrected him. Now he's dead again, so that's, you know, sucks to be him. There are 4 enemy units, all clustered together. Sounds like it could be a good place to drop an Inflict Rot, but then again, we need to kill them quickly. So, doing that may not be the best option. What about our War Shamans? What can our War Shamans do? We could drop a fat buff right there, so that's going to do a nice bolstering on all of those troops, including our Furies. Our Furies can get in and maybe start trying to fell a dragon. It's not a whole lot of damage, but, you know, it's some damage. Get it in there. Our Chaplains can drop a Blessing alongside Iriazk. Perfect. Because I think I'm going to actually have her turn around, and I think we're going to try and take out Hirconix here. I don't know if it's going to be possible, but we can at least weaken him pretty drastically. Or maybe the Prophet can do it. What kind of damage can we do with a Lightning Evocation? Very little. What about just standard attack? That's such a big chance of missing. Or we can do a Restoration. Do we have any units that need a big Restoration? At the moment, no. What about you? Okay, so we can kill one of them. The Arcanists here. That is unfortunately only a tier 1 unit. But they are very vulnerable. So I may as well pick them off. Good. They're dead. 1 enemy unit dead, and he can then shoot again, which is awesome. So we can then pick off some of these archers, maybe? Or I can engage these archers in close combat with these warriors, so I'm gonna at least tie them up to some degree. Our War Shaman here is going to drop a heal on these Wild Witches. Okay, we want to try and keep as many of our units alive as possible. We have our Chaplains here. Our Chaplains could drop a heal on the War Shamans, I think. The big heal. Do it. Okay. So they're no longer burning. And then Izika Ikizi could advance to here to dish out some damage, but then he's going to be quite exposed. So I'm actually going to shoot these archers here, because I need to get rid of them eventually. And these War Shamans can attack one of the enemies. Which one, though? I think you're going to attack right there. Pick off another one of them, so they're down to 1 model. And then it's the Prophet's turn. We, of course, have our spells. But, you know what? I think the best bet for spells is to do an Omen of Respite at this point on some of our units here. Okay, so it's going to align all 3 of them. It's going to be good for us. Lightning Evocation, 100% chance to hit, but it just doesn't do much damage. That's the problem. Triumph Foretold? Drop a Triumph Foretold here? Here. Let's do it here. Closer to the dragon. Okay, Spearbearers can advance at least slow him down, but then they're going to get flanked there. It's not going to do a whole lot of damage to him. We're not going to be able to take him out. That much is a given. But hopefully we can take out some of his support. How's this going? They're stuck in there. She can deal quite a bit of damage, or she can basically zoom around here and pick off one of these units. What's it going to be? She'll be at risk if she does that. But then again, we have our whole front line here, so they will have a target-rich environment to choose from, which means she might not be as focused down. Let's do it. We're going to do a charge here, which is going to wipe this one unit out. So every enemy unit we kill with her is good, because that is going to allow her to act again, which is quite good. So she can then pick off this unit of archers, basically completely reduce their effectiveness. Oh, no, they're just dead. All right, cool. So, goodbye then. Our Sunderers can then come in and get a flanking attack and pick off either one of these. I think I'm going to pick off the Spearmen, just to get them out of the way, because those archers are going to eat a ton of damage if they end up doing anything. So, this is looking pretty good now. We did take some casualties, but that's to be expected. I'm hoping that we'll have enough troops left by the end to contend with their next attack force. We'll see. We are kind of saving here Connix for the last, because he's tough. To get a decapitation strike on him would be quite a difficult thing to do. Thankfully, our troops are pretty durable. Even our casters are, managing to do pretty well in combat. Even Xairiaz, who is very much a glass cannon, is absorbing damage pretty well. And I think we're going to be able to actually heal through most of this. Nice. All right, so they're fleeing. No, they're not. They're still shooting, but they missed. So that's fine. There is an enemy hero there. I would like to kill him. The enemy morale is very low. Perfect. We have the advantage, and we are going to press that. So, how do we want to do this first? Chaplain, drop a heal on the Sunderers. Don't need them dying. Our Furies can get in there and start shooting at him. Unfortunately, he's apparently very difficult to hit. So this would involve us moving up, which would waste one of our shots. Got 20 mana. Got 20 mana, and I think Condemnation is going to do us just fine. So we're going to drop Condemnation. So, then we're going to shoot him. A little bit of extra damage there. Good damage. Very good damage. Okay, his regeneration is removed. Our Sunderers can now attack him to get some work in. Our Spearmen can also try and pick him off. Send in the Spearmen, because they have a bit more health and a little bit more capacity. Nice! Your Connix is down, felled by lowly peasants. Oh, amazing. Alright, our Sunderers are going to come in and take out these archers. They're dead. Nice critical hits. No, we're not going to claim victory yet. We are going to wipe out as many of them as possible, because otherwise we're going to be stuck fighting them later. So we're going to send in Xairiaz the Ruthless actually on an attack right here. Hopefully she's going to get a crit kill. Perfect crit kill, which means she's going to be able to get another crit kill. Didn't quite kill them, but almost. As for what's going to happen right here, we have our Astrologers. Or our Wild Witches. No, we're going to send the Prophet up on a deep push here, because there's this, squirrely hero back here that's got to go. So we're going to tag him with a magic missile, just to get some damage in on him. Warriors are going to finish off these fleeing archers. It's unfortunate that we're killing all of these slave soldiers, but it is what it is. They're enthralled. There's not much we can do about this, so we actually really have to pick off as many of them as possible. So we're going to drop a blessing here on these, I guess, just to get them to deal a little bit of extra damage once we move them away. So they can then shoot in. It's only 35% chance of hitting. How is this so bad? We clearly have some way to avoid missile attacks, but it's okay. Didn't manage to avoid that. Our, super veteran war shamans just 360 no-scope those, same with our astrologers. Everybody, wow, we're just 360 no-scoping everyone. This is the guidance of Zas. This is pure, proof of Zas's, ultimate glory and power. 15% chance? Okay, that missed. I was maybe hoping for a little bit too much there. 35% chance. Come on, Ezike. Almost. It was a good effort. So, yeah, the enemy is in tatters. As in, they have one unit left. Just their hero, who is fleeing. Doesn't look like he's going to get away, because... Are you going to be able to flee from, Oh, whoa. Excuse me? What is this? Draconic has risen again and claimed revenge on the peasants that took him down. This is a travesty. So he has some way to heal. Thankfully, so do our troops. I'm gonna shoot him down with the Furies. That's gonna be that. Alright, he better not be coming back. That would make me very upset. Let's get a big heal in right here. Good. And our troops, our Sunderers, can progress, advance up that way. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to catch him, but I am going to drop a Reckless Rage, because that's going to last for 3 turns. And Azika Ikizi can... I mean, we can get in there. Can we get two shots where we can still hit him? Not with full chance of hitting him, so we're going to do a 75% chance single hit. Hopefully we'll get a crit. Doesn't look like it. Then our Wild Witches, fortunately, only get a 35%. Not if we do a Blight Rain, though, so we're going to do a Blight Rain. Ah, we can't do it that way. Oh, we can do it here. It's not going to friendly fire me, so that's good. Warriors, chase him down. Who else can chase him down? Of course, the Prophet can chase him down. Prophet moves very quickly. We need to pick him off. One way or another. Tell you what. Prophet isn't great in melee, but he has an ability to stab things, which he's gonna do. Good stab. Okay, Chaplains are also going to attempt to shoot him down. Nice, we just 360 no-scoped him. Chaplains, victorious. The enemy army is defeated. We did suffer 5 units lost. The most important one was, of course, the Shield Maidens, but we wiped out the entire enemy force. So, they unfortunately still have a pretty strong army, but now the numbers aren't quite as stacked against us. This is something we can deal with. Question is, are they going to engage directly again? The answer is no. Now, they have 1 troop in their city, 2 troops outside of their city. I wonder what we can do here. Can we pick these off? Yeah, we can pick these ones off outside of their city, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to engage once again. Pick off the 2 armies outside of the city, and then take out the army inside the city. And this is going to completely break the back of Draconic. Unfortunately, this isn't his capital, so the war will continue. He will likely return even after being felled. He is directly attuned to the Astral Sea, so any injuries that he suffered there, he will recover from. He unfortunately escaped during the battle. But all goes well for now. So, from the looks of this force, it is, once again, predominantly ranged units. From the looks of it, they have 3 melee units. The 2 spearmen and the wolf. So we need to close in and deal damage with what we have. We also need to make sure that our troops are healed up. So, let's, how far can you move? Well, not as far when there's enemies, and your own troops are in the way. We're going to put Azika Ikizi up here. We get my Furies up here. We'll get our Wild Witch right next to him. And we've got our Astrologers. They can go right here and drop a Guidance, or whatever that is, on him. Our Lightbringer is going to advance. So Iryazg is going to... she's in the center now. That's fine. She's basically just going to attempt to terrorize the enemy units. So pick off stragglers, all that type of stuff. You know, what she was doing before, which was pretty effective. So we're going to drop a heal on her, because I don't need her dying from anything. No accidents. So we're going to do a partial oblique battle order. It's not the best. But what I can do right here, right now, is get the Prophet ready. He can drop a magic missile onto something. Let's hit these fairies. They can actually take a fair bit of damage from that, so we'll do it that way. And you're going to heal up those warriors. Our chaplains here are going to come up and heal, just with the regular restoration, because we don't need to use the big one. Warriors are going to advance over this way, and we have our war shamans right here, which can drop a heal on themselves. It's awesome that all of our troops can heal. It's really good. Oh, you can still do the big heal. No one needs it. Oh, you do. You absolutely do. So we're going to drop a big heal on these Sunderers. So, our troops are back on the field. Most of our wounded are capable of fighting again thanks to the glorious healing magics of the Prophet. The rest of our troops will enter defensive mode, and we'll see what the enemy does. They have no heroes in this fight, so I don't think they're going to be able to be casting any magic, which is going to be give us a pretty major advantage. We have a ton of mana, it's just the per battle casting that's a little bit slower. Okay, so they're attacking the Prophet. They missed. Good. Perfect. These are ranged units that are now rather exposed, and they're going to have very little melee units to protect them. There's just the wolf here. Okay, the wolf has engaged the Prophet and actually dealt a fair bit of damage. So, a little bit concerning, but this is good. We're in a good position. So, let's see here. Ezekiel Ikizi can dish out quite a lot of damage to either of these backline units. Let's pick off these ranged units right here, though. Not as good of damage as I thought he would do, unfortunately. What about here? Drop that. Okay, you need to target a location. That is unfortunate. However, we can advance you up pretty far. None of the units are actually, like, right next to each other, except for those two, actually, so we can do it here. We can drop a Vile Rain right there, drop some Sundered Defense, so that's going to be good. And what we can do here is a Convert on the Spearmen. Perfect. Didn't work, unfortunately, but they are then stunned, so that is a melee unit that is not going to be able to participate. Now, so Eerie asks, what are you going to do? You want to pick something off, right? We can kill that. Kill it. So that's one enemy unit down, one enemy ranged unit. And then she can just go in on these and deal a whole lot of damage to them, too. Astrologers. Pull up, you only get one shot anyway, so shoot at the wolf. I think we gotta deal some damage to that. We got Sunderers here that can also shoot at the wolf. We can advance and then shoot at the wolf. That sounds like a better idea. Get that 90% hit chance, so its defenses are thoroughly sundered. We're gonna get our warriors in. Get some good attacks. It unfortunately attack them back, and then the Prophet can stab it, or we can get the Prophet out, because now it can't do a counterattack, which means the Prophet can then do a barrage of magic bolts. It's going to be pretty effective. For some reason, the Prophet can't use Spur to Action. It can only be used once per battle. That is... No, you can. I just clicked it wrong. God, I wish this could be used on heroes. Or we can do a... No, we can't. Triumph Foretold? No, hold there. Drop first off a Mending Touch, because that is something you can do and then still act later. So, let's actually get our warriors in here. Warriors can move in and attack this ranged unit. So we just want to inundate them with targets, so that they can't focus anything down. Or so that they're less likely to focus anything down, I should say. Okay, drop a Empower right there, actually. Just cuz. And then our Chaplains can move up here and can drop a Blessing on these warriors. And you're about to see why, because I'm going to actually use this ability on our warriors right now, which is going to allow them to attack and nearly kill this wolf. Which is in turn going to allow the Prophet to kill the wolf. Nice. Alright. That thing's gone. Perfect. And let's drop an Empowerment right here, because that's a whole lot of units that can be buffed up. And we need to do a big fat heal on those wild witches so that they don't die, because we don't need to suffer any casualties in this battle if we don't have to. Goodbye. Never mind. You're still alive. That's a shame. Anything else gonna die here? We absolutely can... Let's drop an Omen of Respite right here. Just hit those with an alignment. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit frightening. Okay, so it looks like they're actually using their abilities to heal, so that's good for us. They're now distracted. They're going to do some damage, unfortunately. Why didn't we get to attack back? Oh, because we attacked them, I guess. Okay, don't like this focus fire on these warriors. It's very unfortunate, yeah. Okay, these warriors may die. It looks like they are focus firing one of my units. At the very least... We are expending a lot of effort for them to do very little damage, so it's kind of like their whole army is now doing it. But I think it's probably going to be enough. Yeah, very unfortunate. Well, their sacrifice will be remembered. We need a resurrection ability. I thought I had one. Maybe I do. Let me check. We can get a, let's see, salvation. I don't think we can heal. No, we don't have a resurrection. Do you have a resurrection ability? No. Oh, yeah, target dead friendly unit. Hell yeah. Bring them back. Warriors are back up and running. So we need to make sure they stay alive. That's the important thing here. So we need to deal as much damage as possible to these enemy units. We're going to send our warriors in on a flank here to take out these enemy spearmen, because they're being annoying. And these warriors can wait, because we don't want them soaking up any counterattacks. Whereas we're going to get our Sunderers in and attack this ranged unit, so that's going to tie them up. Again, warriors, hold your horses. Hold your lizards? I don't know. No, wait, that sounds wrong. Forget I said that. Put some damage in there. And, goddammit, quit selecting them next. That'd be great. Can we get to 2? Yes, we can. Perfect. Can almost kill them, but it won't. Nice! That actually killed that unit. Perfect. Then our Lightbringer here can actually move in with 2 turns, or 2 actions remaining, can dish out some damage onto these warriors. Didn't do quite as much as I would have liked. Chaplains can also dish out some damage. Where do we want to do that, though? Right there. The more dead, the better. That's another one that's fallen. We have our Furies. Furies aren't going to be able to get any good shots. Why is our accuracy so terrible? I guess we're shooting through a bunch of stuff, but yeah, it really seems exceptionally bad. Alright, we'll get some damage in. Didn't do a whole lot. But Sairiazk is going to be able to do quite a lot. I don't know if she's going to be able to kill anything directly. I bet she can. I bet she can if we were to say, first off, condemn this unit, and then kill it with her. So now it's just going to die, which is going to give her another action. Nice. So she can move again. Drop a Bloodlust. Which then, who can you pick off? We can pick them off, or we can merely pick off that unit. They unfortunately didn't die from a crit, so that is too bad. Do we have anything else left? Not the Prophet. He's, yeah. You two can act. Well, what we can do here is drop a, actually, no we cannot. Get those Spearmen. And our Chaplains here can do a blessing on these warriors, going to give them some extra strength and extra defense. Mostly doing this for the defense. Could drop a stun on this unit. I think I'm going to just drop a stun. Make sure they don't do anything. And then our War Shamans here can get some damage in here. I'm hoping that's going to be enough to save their lives, but we'll see. Ezeka Ikizi, right. Yeah, you're here too. Do you have any good angles? You do. So if you move here, we can get you to kill that unit. Good. Everything that dies is better for us. So drop another shot down that line. Good hit. Okay, hopefully this works. Alright, now they're targeting a different unit. Or at least that one did. Are you also going to target the same one? No. Okay, they're spreading out their attacks. This is good for us. You gonna attack her? Very good. That basically translates to doing absolutely nothing here. Alright, so the enemy did not manage to accomplish very much of anything, so good for us. Now, checking our buffage situation here, we can do a critical buff on you, because that's just going to be awful for everyone. That's not you, or one of your allies. And let's huck some javelins to get some thunder defense on these fairies. I think we can just kill the fairies outright. Or do I have you? We're going to have you do it. So we're going to kill that unit. They're dead, and then you're going to swing around and not kill the fairies, so then we do need to devote somebody else to killing them. I think we can get the wild witches to do it. Ooh, only 45%. Nicely done. Worked anyways. Alright, Sunderers, only 40% chance of hitting. I want to make my archers more accurate somehow. That's, but hey, they're going to... Oh, those not Sunderers, Furies, I should say. War Shamans. Well, let's see here. Let's just do as much magical bombardment as we can. The Prophet can, of course, do a pretty solid magic bombardment, or we can hit him with a magic missile, which is automatically going to hit. Let's do that. No, 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 no. No survivors. We have taken the enemy down. Very good. The warriors who had fallen have risen again. And the enemy is defeated. Double victory. That went incredibly well. We took no casualties during that fight. Basically didn't take too many wounded either. We were able to heal through everything. So, this leaves Monafont. Well, Monafont, before we sack, or we don't sack, we liberate Monafont. Sorry, still in the spider cult mindset a little bit. It happens, you know. The bloodlust. Astral Revelation has been completed, so all of our cities and units will gain +7 vision range, which is going to be good. Let's get Keeper's Mark. For enchanted units, we will have all of our shield, polearm, shock, fighter, and skirmisher units, which is then going to basically translate to all of the units in my army. They're going to be faithful, and when taking fatal damage for the first time, gives them steadfast. So, finally, screw you, game. I'm going to be using the steadfast now. Now, we have some level up. So, so Iryazk has leveled up. We want to give her something that's just going to make her do more damage. So let's give her expert fighting. And let's see here. Who else has leveled up? Ezeki Ikizi has leveled up as well. So he's our ranged character. We can give him more archery. We could also give him... No, Sentinel doesn't work. We're going to give him archery too. So if we can somehow give him better accuracy, that would be great. And archery does give him better accuracy, so we'll be moving down there. Now, as for an ability that we could give him, I could give him a teleportation ability of some kind. Or we give him Virulent Outbreak. That's long range. Is that the same range as his bow? His bow is only 4 range, so this is going to be something that he can use at a slightly longer range. He'll basically fire an arrow laced with all manner of toxins and diseases, which will shatter on impact and spread sickness all across the region. So, the Prophet himself has also leveled up. We will grant him Distant Evocation, which will allow him to use his spells from a greater distance, which is always good. We want him to be able to act from a great distance away. So, our fairies need to move, or our fairy-led army needs to move and reinforce Xiaoraisk. I feel a whole lot better about everything now. I could have this army pick off these and then move straight back in. That's not going to work, actually, is it? That would make sense that it didn't work as planned. It's just going to reinforce. So head back to base. It was a good... You know, got to keep them on their toes, but... We have forced Hyrconix to withdraw. Meanwhile, the remains of Orion the Traveler is now in our crypt. What kind of gear do you have? You have a pretty good crossbow, the Ricochet crossbow. And all kinds of really nice items. Ah, this is why he came back. Okay, so he's got the Ankh of the Phoenix. That's pretty good. We're going to sell his remains. And Shepsut the Puzzler here. What do you have? I mean, also Ankh of the Phoenix. These are good items. And the Arcfire Orb. We're going to sell your remains too. Just going to allow our heroes to equip some new stuff. So, this is going to be quite good for us. We definitely don't want some of our characters to die here. So we're going to give Ukiyasha Iku an Ankh of the Phoenix. We're going to give him the Wand of the Lightning Strike, and I guess we'll give him an Assassin's Dagger. Oh, hold on. We got to do it like so. Did we give you an Assassin's Dagger? God damn it. This game let me actually click things. He's got the Staff of Decay. We're going to keep him with the Staff of Decay. No, we can give him a Staff of the Magi, actually. Good magic staff. Although, let me look and see what everybody else has here. We need you with an Ankh of the Phoenix. I do not need you dying. Also going to give you an Assassin's Dagger. As for the Prophet, Wand of Magic Missile, we're going to give him a Wand of Lightning Strike. I swear, I'm clicking on this and it's just not doing anything. Robe of Resistance. Any boots here? Heavy Armor Greaves. Interesting. Slow movement in combat. I don't know if I want that on anyone, for that matter. So I may just be getting rid of those. We're going to give him an Assassin's Dagger for when he's in close combat. And I think I'm going to give him a Chestplate of Vitality instead of the armor that he's wearing. And then we can give Ukiyasha Iku the Robe of Resistance. And so Iryazk already has the Fire Wake boots. I'm going to give you the Juggernaut Greaves. No, you don't need to crush through obstacles. I'm gonna give you the Juggernaut Greaves. We don't need somebody with Fiery Weight, because that actually damaged me more than damaged anyone else. Ah, look at this. Ring of Regeneration. For Ukuyasha Iku, that makes a ton of sense to have him have that. Which ring do you have? Ring of the Inspiring Killer. Yeah, that's perfect. You have the Flanking Ring. You're going to get a Ring of Regeneration as well, so the Prophet will be able to regenerate. And you have the Ring of Opportunity. You don't do opportunity attacks, so you're going to get the Flanker Ring. It's going to be perfect. That is everything we need. Could give him a... No, he's going to be on foot. He's just going to stay on foot. Alright, we're looking good. First major victory against Dragonkind. This will be a, something to celebrate. To be certain. The enemies have suffered a lot of damage. Hold on. Dropping down here. I want to be able to drown some enemy troops in the mire here. So we dealt some damage to this enemy force already. We're going to do some more damage to them with drown them in the mire. Just want to make sure that, you know, they're not going to be able to gain too much of an advantage on me. Can I actually click on the enemy force? Is this the one that I'm trying to do? Yeah, alright, good. They're at half health. Just going pretty well. Could even queue it up again, so that it's ready next turn. If your Conyx is out, signature skill is available. Ah yeah, for Xayiriask, huh? Assassinate? I mean, that sounds great. That's basically what you do. You'll get Assassinate and the Assassin's Dagger, so you'll be able to do that twice. That'll be great. Unfortunately, provinces are being pillaged. We have breached Mana Font, so we can now take Mana Font. Well, as for this city, I'm going to allow the computer, or I will allow Zos to dictate the terms of this battle. However, we lost a Fury there, so I ain't allowing that, because we don't need to suffer any casualties here. I was hoping that it wouldn't make me suffer any, but so it did. So we're going to be fighting this one manually too, and I think that's going to be the episode for today, is first conquest against Dragonkind. So this wall is absolutely, well, it was a horrible wall to begin with, but it's even worse now, which means we're going to be able to pick them off, especially with our troops being what they are. Let's see here, we can just hit them with a virulent contagion outbreak right there. Have fun with, you know, being infected and all that. Okay. Let's move the astrologers here. We're going to drop him with a crit. Or no, the alignment. Yeah, this does do a prediction fortune, so he will eventually get crit bonuses. We're going to pull our Sunderers in here. And we're going to send Xayiriask along the flanks here. And the Lightbringers up, because they're going to just die on their own anyways. We don't actively use them. In the meantime, let's drop a big heal on these warriors to make sure they don't die. You're otherwise fine as you are. Xayiriask, do you turn this way, just to be sure, and take a defensive action. Sunderers can turn up here, take a defensive action. Wild Witch can turn up this way. You already did, never mind. And the Furies we can actually get to shoot some of these enemies already, I think. We could shoot up there, but that's a very low chance of hitting, so I'm going to hold ground. Put our War Shamans in here, and we're going to heal up the War Shamans. These warriors have taken a ton of damage, so let's use our chaplains here and give them a whole lot of health back, because we don't need them dying. We have another War Shaman, which is going to participate in healing up these warriors to make sure that they have enough strength to fight on this day. We can do a Mending Touch with the Prophet, and then a further Restoration, just to be sure. So they're topped up, mostly to full health. And these War Shamans can advance up to here. So, come the next turn, we will have our magic be available to us, and we can start doing some arcane bombardments here. So they're going to attempt to futilely attack Xayiriask. But they can't hit her, because she moves too quickly atop that bone wyvern of hers. And the spearmen are going to try and get in her way, but little do they know she's riding a bone wyvern, so she doesn't care about any of that business. So she's just going to fly past them, murder those ranged units, and then could attempt an assassination. It's a 25% chance, so I think it's better off if we first try and convert them, which we did, so perfect. Then our warriors can advance in this way. Our chaplains can advance behind them. Our newly recruited arcane guard are going to hold position while she is going to go around and, you know, set up an attack over in that direction. Our furies can move up to here to get a 60% attack chance, where they can get some damage in on this ranged unit here, because we need to pick off their ranged units so that they can't hit us from the far side of the wall. As we're doing that, let's also make sure, put our Sunderers in here. You can go right in here. Ah, that's going to prevent you from doing that. God damn it, keep forgetting. Right, we'll drop a Mending Touch here with these Astrologers on the Sunderers. We don't need them dying either. And our Wild Witches can advance. A little bit concerned about their health and safety, but we're going to drop a sickness on them, which they can get down with at their own leisure. And let's see, how can we solve their issue? Can Ezekiel Ikizi do something? Yeah, he absolutely can, and he's gonna. So he's gonna Vision of Woe them, so that's at least going to prevent them from doing a whole lot of damage to us. Move up our Sunderers, give them a lot of targets to think about. Same with these Astrologers. They can come up, do some a little bit of attacking here. Hopefully pick off that unit. Excellent, they're dead. Our War Shamans can also advance. I misclicked, so let's actually go back and click to where I actually wanted to click. And get some more magic damage in right there. Very good. Sunderers, throw some Javelins. You know, it's a bit of extra damage, which is good. Bless. Sayuriask. Alright. Who do we have left? We have the Prophet. What's the Prophet gonna do? Prophet's gonna advance up this way. And can do a magic missile attack on this ranged unit to deal some damage there. We're going to move up our War Shamans to do the same thing. Poison them. We'll get our Warriors to come in. They'll be fine as they are. And we'll get our Chaplains here to... why don't you bless up these Warriors? Let's give them some extra strength for the turns to come. Go defensive, and yeah, that should be fine. I don't think they're going to be able to do anything. That was not very much damage because they're fumbling their attacks, so good luck to them. Hopefully they don't kill these Wild Witches. If they do, the Prophet will resurrect them. But I don't think they're going to be able to do anything. Maybe. I hope not. Good, they're alive. That's their turn. So we can do a big heal here. So first off, let's get our empowerment, which I wanted to do beforehand. Now all of our troops are juiced. And our Astrologers can't really do anything here because they're stuck in melee. So let's just kill them here. We can have our Sunderers come around back here and kill them like that. So Iriazk, are you gonna be able to get there in time? Absolutely. Come in. Murder them. Astrologers, swing around back, shoot some magical missiles into there, and finish them off. Alright, Monafont has fallen. The first city of the enemy has been liberated, and we will indeed release it as a vassal city. Let's vassalize it. Perfect. First great victory. All is well in the realm. We need to also get some army heals going, because I doubt we're out of this. Well, we're not out of this, because we're going to finish this war. Rather than seek for a temporary peace, we're going to make straight for the capital and wipe that out. Just down here. They have 2 other cities aside from their capital. We should be fine, I think. Everything else is looking pretty good. Let's actually seize this watchtower. Perfect. So then we can see if they're sending up any reinforcements from there. So, good with Ezekiel Ikizi doing that. That, my friends, is going to be where I'm going to end today's episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. Maybe a little bit of time before the next one comes out because, again, I'm not home at my computer. I may drop back home during one of the weekends that I'm away to specifically do a recording, but that's going to kind of depend on the situation. So there may be a week where there's no episode, and I do apologize for that, but yeah, it just is how it is. I hope you guys stick around and wait until the rest of the series progresses, because this is a pretty fun series, at least for me. I hope you guys are all enjoying it. Do leave comments right now if you guys leave any comments for lore and narrative. That's all going to work out just fine. I mentioned in the previous one that I was recording this episode right after the previous one, so any of the lore that you guys wrote I can't include into this episode, but anything you guys write in the comments of this episode can be included in the subsequent one, because I'm not recording any more today. Alright guys, have a good one. I'll catch you in the next one. Ash Heriter out.